my topic. I want to know what horrifying thing has stuck with you to this day. Now, I'm not saying something. It could be something you've seen, could be something you've read, could be something you've dreamed. The last two are where I'm coming from. For horrifying thing that stuck with me. Went to school with this girl named Christy. Last name Bourgeois. I don't know if she writes.
She's bourgeois?
No, her last name was Bourgeois.
Christy Bourgeois.
And she wrote stories. And I remember she wrote this one that we put in the school paper, so I had to I don't not edit it, but I think at the time I'd actually rewrite it or put it in. I forget, some horrible situation. But the story involved this guy dying or whatever, and one of the things was that there was glass in his windpipe. Oh. That he had clearly, in the fight or whatever, had inhaled a piece of glass, and it was in, and that was and I thought how horrible that would be, and that made me this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about horrifying things that make tense up, and I remember reading this story and getting that part, and it's you know what I mean, so intense.
Every noise.
Ooh, it's not what I want right there, you know what I mean? Not what I'm feeling in terms of a Christy Bourgeois story when I'm reading one of these things. So that was a problem right there. That one. The other one, stick with me because this one is making my toes curl right now thinking about it. I had a dream where, you might remember a commercial similar to this with some fucking foot fungus, but basically I could lift up my toenail, and then there was all these strings, I don't know if they were skin or what, attached to then back. Oh, it was gross. But you lift it up like a door, you know what I mean? And then they did do a commercial where these fungus men were under there. It was I don't know which came first. Yeah. If it was literally my fucking nightmare come to life on TV or not. But you just pick, I can still see it, and it still makes it's so gross. I can't deal with that.
That reminds me of, there are some indelible images that just stick with you forever in TV and film. One of which was the flaying in Game of Thrones when they're torturing Theon. That's Theo. Theo Huxtable.
Why are they torturing him?
He's Dad,
tell us where the sweaters are.
You know, when they start flaying the skin, because the house that flays their enemies or whatever it is, and they start peeling the skin off of his fingers. That's gonna stick with me for a long time, I think.
It was messed up when Bill Cosby did that to Theo too.
Why would Bill do it?
When he missed his curfew.
He lied to his mom. Yeah, he was lying to his mom.
Theo, I gotta cut your
skin
see
off. I was gonna say that was one of the worst Cosby's I've ever heard. You brought it back.
Can I try it again?
Yeah.
Svein Theo, you gotta come over here.
Your walking's not bad.
You're late. Yeah. Why you late?
So mine's a little weird.
I couldn't give a gun. I'm sorry.
The show Hey Arnold is a Nicktoon. There's an episode where he gets bullied, and then he learns karate from his grandma, and he goes out in the street, and he's in the alley. And then some guy comes up to him from the alley, and he beats the shit out of him. And then it's made to look like he was a bully, and Arnold beat him up.
Yeah.
And then the camera turns, and it's you see that this guy is just this innocent kid, and he was I was just gonna ask you when the bus was coming, and it was just some sweet little dude, and Arnold just beat the shit out of him.
Damn.
And for some reason that really stuck with me. Of man, that was really fucked up. I would have hated to be that guy, and that sucks that people would be so mean to someone randomly like that. And I don't know why that affected me so much because it's so stupid. But I thought about that long and hard. I was just people need to be nicer to people.
But I'm sorry, why did Hey Arnold beat up the random kid? I know you said
it
was
in the darkness.
And he thought it was some other kid?
He thought it was a mugger. Yeah.
That guy kind of had
a
coming.
Mistake.
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't know
why.
Even Hey Arnold can make
I
mistakes.
took it to a way deeper place, though. For some reason, I don't know why, but it affected me where I was just that guy was just a sweet dude. And he got the shit beat out of him, and that sucks. Bad things happen to good people. I think that's the message there. That's and that, it horrified me.
Really, because I thought it would have gone the other way, which is the story that we are, the allegory of the Karate Kid, which is a very, very ancient story.
Yes.
Where a young Daniel-san learns from Mr. Miyagi that karate is only for self-defense.
Yes.
Never to attack anyone. It's never to use vengeance. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like Hey Arnold jumped the gun on this a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't.
Karate.
Did not. Karate. It sounds like Hey Arnold didn't get that lesson and decided to just randomly.
It was a preemptive strike.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like when Kevin and I talk. I wish Kevin were here right now, but we talk about this all the time. Whenever
God rest his soul.
We used to, when I used to try to do jujitsu or judo, right? Or my brother will tell this story all the time. I used to take kempo, and we used to have these arm holds, and you'd train them all day and think you mastered it, and then you immediately go home to your brother and be like, "Check this out, give me your hand." Because my brother always jokes about this, and then you'd proceed to break the person's hand by accident. You're like, "I didn't know what I was doing." With great power, Tim.
You broke your brother's hand?
No, he has a big hand. There's no way I'm breaking that thing. Like a ham steak.
Hand steak.
With great power comes great responsibility, Tim.
Mm-hmm. That's a good message
Batman.
too. Yes, Batman. Yeah. Clark Kent.
So let me hit you. Let me hit you guys with a few things.
Hold on, before you do that, because I know you're gonna go to a serious place. All I put in was toenail commercial, and
I used to hate these.
I immediately got the guy lifting up the toenail.
Yeah.
So,
That's not
can't do
good. I
that.
don't like that. No, I don't like that. One of the earliest images that ever stuck with me forever was Large Marge from.
Yeah.
my
we
God.
spoke about that before, and that came to mind for this too.
Also, in The Exorcist, the frames of the demon that they show, the one frame things, when I was a really little kid, used to scare the shit out of me. And then, as a child, too, when we told the story before, the Tickly Monster really stuck with me quite a bit. This was, of course, an imagination of my own mind, a recurring dream I had in which a man would come to my crib and tickle me until I couldn't take it anymore. I think it was a dream. But also, the guy getting buried alive in Days of Our Lives when I was a kid, watching that with my mom. That's why I want to get cremated to this day. That happened literally 25 years ago.
Worst. There was a movie, I think, with Jeff Bridges and Kiefer Sutherland. I can't remember what it was called, but basically, Kiefer Sutherland's like, his wife disappears, and he tracks it all the way back to, I think, Jeff Bridges, who he's like, I know you took my wife. Just tell me what you did with her. Tell me what you did with her. And he goes, if you want to know what I did with her, you have to drink this thing or whatever it was. So he's like, finally gets to his wit's end, drinks the thing, winds up in a coffin, buried alive.
My God.
It's the war. Being buried alive. I think someone saves him at the end.
His wife?
No, I think it's the girl that he's like was teamed up with. It's like the new romance or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Kind of a messed up story. Not great.
Not recommended, but
no, but the concept of being buried alive just sounds horrible. Horrible. I had one other one. Back in the day when there was a series, Nightmare on Elm Street. Did you ever see those? I think it was Freddy 3, and there was this scene where a girl was she was a meth addict or a heroin addict. And Freddy like put his his claws became like syringes and put them into her arms and then like squeezed and like all this meth kind of came out of it. It was the worst. Then I think there was also a scene where, because I think maybe it was the Puppet Master, maybe it was like number 4, where he rips the veins out of someone and like makes him a puppet.
Yeah, no, that
was
that's on my list too. Veins, anything with
veins,
veins and eyes. I think a lot of people get fucked up with like eye things. To me, veins are like even worse, where it's just like the thought of shots horrifies me. I can get shots. I don't even care. But if I think about it,
you're passing out.
God, that fucks with me. So yeah, the Puppet Master shit.
Did you ever play Dead Space 2?
No, not. I played Dead Space 1.
I did.
There's a part you play it all the way through. At the very end, spoilers for Dead Space 2, you have to lay the guy down Isaac and put a needle into his eye. And that was one of those things of me just squirming like crazy in that chair, like looking way.
We talked about Fire in the Sky.
That's what I was thinking of, because they do some fucked up shit.
They do some
movie
messed up stuff.
That's like the movie. That's like the official movie of this podcast.
Oh, it is.
Fire in the Sky.
We should do a viewing party of
that and Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
let's not
discount it. Fire in the Sky. I haven't seen Fire in the Sky in a long time. We should watch it together.
We should do that
just to see if it still is.
It's probably still terrifying.
I was completely terrified of that movie.
I was terrified of that film. I told you the story. I watched it upstairs. My parents' room. They had a VHS player up there. I watched it. My mom had no idea what I was watching. I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. I swore.
I've never seen it. It's too scary for me.
Titanic, the movie. There's parts of that like really stuck with me for some reason. Like
when everyone was like frozen in the water.
Fabricio, Jack's best friend.
Yeah.
One of the like tutors on the ship. What are they called? The big pipes.
Oh,
the smokestacks.
There you go.
Yeah, smokestacks.
Yeah.
It
tutors. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Person who teaches it?
No,
I was like,
I
know there was a show, The Tutors.
The family that used to run France.
But it like falls and kills him.
Yeah.
Didn't watch that
his
show.
dying scream stayed with me, and it really bothered me.
A bit of aside from what we're talking about here, when Jack and Rose have sex in the car, do you think he uses a condom?
No.
No, God, no.
not.
No one used condoms back then.
I don't know. I was always
take them out of like the little tins.
Some people did. They like had like sheepskin condoms that they would use like over and over again.
Well, that's just smart. Let's just save money.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I read that.
Leo D doesn't do that.
Wasn't one of the first people to do that Cleopatra?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they talk about that a little bit, where she because she was
smart,
so powerful. If she had a son, he would usurp her. He would become the king, and so she never wanted to have a child, so she could stay in power, and so she practiced that.
She still wanted that.
Well, she wanted that Mark Antony. little bit. It's fine. It's Mark. Come over. It's my friend's house. Cleo. It's Mark, Cleo.
Remember Miss Cleo? Whatever.
That was one of the horrifying ones too. Yeah.
You couldn't get away from Miss
Dude,
Cleo.
I miss that. Miss Cleo was awesome. She was balling out.
Yeah.
She didn't give a fuck.
She had a big
She had a
movement
big
for a while.
ball.
She
Crystal
did,
ball.
yeah, she was literally balling out, literally.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Go ahead.
No.
I got a story from when I was a kid. This is
Lay
a
it
real
on
story.
me.
I think I told.
Please tell me Miss Cleo came over.
No, that would have been
Weird.
awkward.
That would have been weird.
I remember like.
Are they friends?
How did
What?
you know?
Miss Cleo has friends.
The Scarpinos
Divine
are
me
her friends?
this. So when I was a kid, I used to hang out with my. You got a bigger brother growing up. You always want to hang out with the bigger brother, right? The bigger brother's friends are always doing something way cooler. I remember in my friends in their backyard, they built like a dirt bike.
Yeah.
My brother's friends. So I used to
Track.
go over
Or
there.
they
Like
built a dirt
a
bike.
track. Sorry.
Okay.
Either
Either was acceptable.
bicycle.
I didn't know. I was just making
That
sure.
would have been cool too. No, they built like a track in their backyard for bikes. And we used to go back there, and I was like, I don't know, there's something weird about these kids. Well, one day they found a lizard that was on their garage door, and these psychopathic kids that their lives ended up going kind of crazy anyway, and no surprise, decided to torture this thing by like kind of playing with it with a BB gun, and then eventually holding a BB gun to its head and pulling the trigger. And I didn't think they were going to do it. So seeing the image of this thing that had just been alive and is now writhing in its
Agony.
final death throes on the ground, like spattering around, blood everywhere, and it's a lizard, so it's not like it's going to do anything. Lizards are harmless, they're everywhere where I used to grow up. To this day, I don't like killing things because of that. If I find even a fly in my house, I will try to get it out of the house. Like last resort is killing something. With the exception of if I see a spider
No,
near my
spiders can
bed
get it.
or near my toilet, that thing's dying. But even like a moth, like a ladybug flew into my house the other day, and my wife's like, just kill it. And I'm like, I'm not going to kill it, but I also don't like touching bugs, so you need to come over here and take this thing. And she just grabs it.
And your
threw it
wife
outside.
came over with the BB gun. You're like, no!
Canoed that thing's head off. Yeah, that stuck with me. That was one of those things where I was like, that was the first time I had seen, for no reason, someone just kill something for sheer pleasure, which I was like, this is disturbing, and I couldn't hang out with those kids anymore. From that point on, I was like, I don't want to go there anymore.
Yeah, I had a similar thing growing up. Of a kid, they found a toad. And these kids that were in the neighborhood, and they hit it with a wiffle ball bat, like tossed it. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Never
can't
gonna hang
do
out with
that.
you guys again. You're psychos.
That's really weird.
True story.
animals is how
That kid,
serial killers start.
Barack Obama.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Grew up-
Nah, I'm just
when
So
I
I
was a
have
kid in
a
Hawaii, growing up.
Super fucked up story.
Okay.
And like this is really the thing that like more so than any of this shit like fucked me up. But one of my little brother's best friends, I was at their house. Like my little brother and my friends, we all used to be friends together. Like his group of friends, my
Sure.
group of friends, we'd all hang out.
Super group of friends.
Yes.
Super friends.
Yeah, and so it was great, and we'd all do this stuff. We're at my little brother's best friend's house at one point, and his little brother hung himself
Oh.
upstairs.
Like,
We were at the house.
no.
And this kid killed himself.
No.
Yeah.
How old was the kid? Ballpark.
Damn, it was like I don't. It's weird the whole blocking things out of your memory. This is something that like I totally blocked out of my memory. I didn't even really think about it for so long until right now. But I
Wait,
must have been.
You haven't thought of this memory since then?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it, but like it stuck with me. In
Okay.
different ways.
I'm
Therapy
so
session right
stay
now.
Yeah,
with
no,
me
no, no.
again.
I
I'm
was,
sorry.
I was like 12.
It's good.
Okay, so and they
So
were
my
younger
brother
than
was
you.
10,
Okay.
9 or 10.
Okay.
So they're
So that's the age difference because it's
Well,
the
no,
brother's
sorry.
friend.
it was my little brother's friend's little brother. So the kid was like 7 or 8.
Jeez, how do you even know how to hang
I don't
yourself?
know, but he did. Like it was a purposeful. He hung himself. Like it wasn't an accident or anything. And it was
Damn.
just him up there.
That's horrible.
When you were
Yeah.
there when they found it and everything?
I was there when all the shit was going down. I remember being so confused. Like none of us knew what was going on, and like his mom just was like fucking freaking the fuck
Of course.
out. And I remember she yelled at us. Like she was so mad. Like I don't even know if mad. She was just so crazy.
Yeah.
That like she was just swearing at us, and we're like, what the fuck is happening? And yeah, it was a weird thing. Then so many cops came and like all this shit. And it was just crazy. And then none of us knew, like, that was like one of the first touches of death that have ever come near any of us. And we were just like, what the fuck's happening? This isn't real. And like, we didn't, even when they told us, it was like, there's no way that just happened. What's that even mean? I don't know.
That's
It was
crazy.
crazy.
That
It
is
was
fucking crazy.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. It's
that
it's a
shit.
weird, fascinating story.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And it's,
So you're just downstairs playing and then you hear mom screaming?
I don't remember the exact.
Sure.
I actually like I just remember playing games and stuff, and then cops coming, Like I don't remember the mom reacting until after the cops were there.
Yeah.
It all happened like it really did just happen so fast. Where it was just like we were just playing video games, and all of a sudden it was just like chaos everywhere. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Let's move on. Let's talk about something.
Nick, hit me with
another one.
hit me with a little walking note to wrap everything up.
Tim, it's gonna be fine.
It is fine. Everything's fine.
It was a good episode. It's okay.
Show's not done yet.
Yeah, we
I
still have one more
you
topic.
really do it well. Just the mannerism
Yeah, you
of
do,
him as
you
well.
do.
The delivery is perfect.
I just watched for no reason the other night Stand Up Guys with Christopher Walken and Al Pacino, where they play aging mobsters. Not a good film.
You don't think
Do
that
you
was a good one?
remember any of his lines?
No, but Walken was really really good in it, which is why I was surprised. It kind of reinvigorated. And then I just watched Annie Hall, and Walken plays the
Wait,
brother.
what did
in
it
Annie Hall.
reinvigorate?
My love of Walken.
Oh, okay.
Not that it ever really
I
went
thought
away.
your need to.
But here's the thing. Christopher Walken has become sort of a caricature of himself over the years,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
So he did some fantastic movies in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Then hit, I think, I don't know why, right around the Pulp Fiction time when he was the guy, when he has that great monologue where he's like, my father's watch, he wore it up his ass, and now I'm giving it to you, young Butch, right? Like he has this great, and that made him sort of, that started the spiral, I think, of crazy Christopher Walken. But every once in a while, you'll see him in something where he actually tries to act, and he is fantastic. And there are moments in this movie where he actually has some really nice scenes with one of the actresses who ends up, I mean, I'm not spoiling it, no one's ever going to watch this movie, but he goes to the same diner every week to see this girl that's working there, and it turns out that she's his granddaughter that he's been estranged from because he was a mobster, and like his wife and daughter never wanted to have anything to do with him. Mm-hmm. So he has this great moment with her at the end, and you're like, wow, Walken's really good. But
Does he confess to her?
Yeah, and he tells her eventually that, hey, I'm your grandfather, and I've left you some money.
How does he say it though?
It's me, your grandfather. Here's some money. Go have fun.
Oh my god.